What is up, fellow YouTubers? So, for those of you who don't know, a lot of people seem to be feeling some sort of confusion as to why people are kneeling for the national anthem. A lot of people think it's disrespect, and really it's to show support for Black Lives Matter. They're not being disrespectful, they're showing support. Now, a lot of people seem to think that, well, you're supposed to stand for the national anthem unless you're in a wheelchair or you're on crutches, and then. So then, because a lot of people don't know why people are doing that, we have a black athlete who kneels for the national anthem. And people everywhere get so offended that they decide they're going to burn their Nike clothes as soon as the freaking spokesperson is found out, because he disrespected the national anthem. Let's just show everybody how unbelievably fucking racist and privileged this country is by doing that, because that's exactly what you're doing. When people everywhere are burning their Nike clothes because of the person kneeling for the national anthem, which, as I explained earlier, is to protest Black Lives Matter, or with them, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they chose it, but they could be doing a lot more disrespectful things. They could just not be standing at all, which apparently is a thing. And there's nothing to watch on TV when people are like, oh, see that? That person sat down. He didn't even stand for the anthem. Oh, can you believe it? How disrespectful. And, people might be like, well, I'm sitting down for the national anthem to protest the assholes who protest people kneeling for it. What? And at that point, you ask yourself, okay, does that go a little too far? And the answer is yes, it does. And instead of burning your Nike clothing, you could have just given it away to some homeless people or people in need. Because when I first heard about kneeling for the national anthem, like a lot of you, I was like, okay, yeah, that is kind of disrespectful to the anthem. Why are you doing that? And then, instead of being an ignorant fucktard, I did some research. And come to find out, they kneel because they're protesting with Black Lives Matter, which is, 100% understandable, And I'm sick of it, UT. Like, okay, seriously, that's just showing you how incredibly racist and privileged our country is. It makes me sick, dude. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, man. There are people in third world countries who can't even afford shoes. They walk around in their bare feet, stepping on rocks, stepping on broken glass. Oh, but you're gonna protest Nike by... Now imagine if somebody went up to Flint, Michigan, stood right in front of somebody with a bottle of clean drinking water, unscrewed the cap, and just did this. Poured it on the ground right in front of them. How offensive would that be? To go up to somebody from Flint, Michigan with a bottle of clean, usable drinking water, unscrew the lid, and just dump it right in front of them. That'd be rude as fuck, man. Well, burning your Nike clothes in protest because a black athlete is the spokesperson for Nike's new jam, that's pretty much the equivalent of pouring clean drinking water out in front of somebody's face and from Flint, Michigan. This is pretty much the same equivalent. Now, I don't expect a lot of you to understand how this works because For you white privileged assholes out there who've never had to experience a day of racism in your life, all of a sudden now you're experiencing a little bit of resistance. People assuming that just because you're white, you're racist, and you hate that racist assumption, but can you really complain? The answer is no, you can't. You know, you really can't complain if you're white and people assume you're racist because you're white. That's in itself is a racist statement. But can you really complain about it? The answer is no. You really can't. While sexism and racism does happen to white men, you really can't complain about it. Because people out there have had to go through a lot worse. This is, I guess, karma's way of paying certain people back for their heritage. I don't know, dude. But if you really want to get technical with it, slavery, war, poverty, and all around bullshits and human unkindness have existed since the dawn of time. And if I had a time machine to eliminate all of that bullcrap so that humanity grew up in a much better place, trust and believe I'd already have done it. If I could eliminate those things from history, I already would have done it a long time ago. And then this place would be a much better place to live. This planet, you know what I'm saying? So maybe the most we'd have to worry about is like bullying and pollution. Other than that, you know, which are pretty much easy to deal with. But you know what I'm saying? That's just the thing of it, dude. Is like I said, you could have given those clothes to people in need, but instead you're going to show how racist and privileged you are. And the sad part is people were buying into it for the longest time. People were actually making it like it was a dramatic post, like it's a political post. Oh, we're going to do this because it's a movement. Boisterous millennials and their movements on social media. Oh. Hear them and their vape pens roar. They're pissed off about something. These self-entitled pricks are pissed off and we must listen. Oh, look, an older millennial. Oh, look, it's an older millennial complaining about the younger millennials. Oh, that's typical. And let me just add to that real quick. Grab my Cobra cane. Get off my lawn, you rotten kids! Oh. No, but then there's a big difference between standing up and causing a movement on social media to help defend somebody, come to somebody's defense, come to a group or minority's defense. You know, if you're starting an online movement for a legit good cause, awesome. But if you're starting an online movement to be a privileged dickhead, just do yourself a favor and get off of social media. Because people like you have no place on social media. I'm gonna get a glass of water. Hold on a second. You're using social media to spread your bullshit ways, and that's not okay, man. It's not alright. if you're using social media to bully people, and that's the thing of it, you know, to this day, I still have people I don't like. But when I hear about them going through some tragedy, and my YouTube fans are pointing it out, like, oh, did you hear what happened to so and so? Ha 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 ha. It's so funny. I may not like that person, but I at least have enough gall to say, hey, you know what? That person's struggling enough. Leave him or her the fuck alone. You know? That's the unfortunate reality of it, YouTube, is you're not going to get along with every person you meet. Be nice, but that's just not the case. So whether you have to work with them or coexist with them, that's all you can do is learn to coexist. I mean, the extent of how much I get bullied on social media is unreal. The satire people have created over the years. Some of it's funny, some of it's, encouraging in a good way and promotes me, and some of it's just meant to be downright mean. And all I can do is take it with a grain of salt, YouTube. Because I can't control anything these haters do, they can't control what I do. But back to the point. People don't have to suck this hard, but they choose to. Be a much better place if they didn't act like that.